Good morning, I'm Caitlin Stansel filling in for Kim Ratcliffe.
And I'm Bob Bonner in for Bob Townsend, at least at this desk. You saw Bob Townsend top of the show. He'll be joining us a little bit later from the Live Alert Center. Also alongside Patrick Ellis coming in doing the weather taking place for Gannon. Gannon's on a bit of a vacation day today as well. And Patrick, it seems each and every time you come, we have a different bit of a weather system. Today it was cold when we got in the car this morning. We didn't ride together. We could have.
Maybe we should start carpooling. We'd all save a lot of money on gas.
But it was the first time I can remember, I'd say since maybe mid-November, where when my car turned on, the heat warmers turned on automatically, and it only does that.
At least your car has those.
Yeah, well, yeah. But it only does it if I think it's lower than 40 when I start the car, and boom.
And this morning definitely feeling like at least it feels like it's in the 30s and 40s out there, even 20s in some locations across southeastern North Carolina because of the winds that have been kicking since yesterday, and they're going to continue through today here.
Well, the investigation continues into 3 fires in Carolina Beach that left 2 people dead and several displaced from their homes.
Yeah, WECT's Emily DeVoe now live in Carolina Beach, where just a flurry of activity happened over the weekend. Emily, good morning.
Good morning, Bob, Caitlin.
We also have new details this morning on a fire in Wilmington.
Away from the house! Is everybody out of the house?
Now, New Hanover County fire officials say Christmas light cords appear to have started this fire you see in this video. It happened overnight on Valor Drive. The middle section of the home completely burned out from the front of the house to the back. The entire roof gone as well. That fire, though, ruled accidental. CNA has helped police make an arrest in a 14-year-old rape case here in North Carolina. Maurice Barry Albert Sullivan has been charged with first-degree rape and 1 other charge. Now, police say the 40-year-old was arrested last year and charged with a felony for trying to disable devices that prevent shoplifting at a local grocery store. Now, felons under state law are required to give a DNA sample, and investigators are still searching for another suspect in that case.
The CEO of Begin Today's Health First, a new study is out this morning concerning elderly women and breast cancer.
And what they're looking at is elderly women still getting treatment that may not help in the long run. Now, Duke University researchers looking into this data on more than 40,000 women over age 70 who had a lumpectomy. Now, they were interested in just how many received radiation before and after a large clinical trial in 2004. Now, that trial found that radiation did not reduce recurrence or prolong the lives of elderly women with early stage tumors, but before the 2004 study, 68% received radiation therapy. Afterward, about 61% continued to receive that radiation, though often in shorter courses. And dyslexia is a neurological condition that affects about 8% of the population.
Yeah, Barbara Moore now taking a look at the condition and how this can actually be treated.
Good morning, I'm Caitlin Stansel filling in for Kim Ratcliffe here.
And now I'm Bob Bonner in for Bob Townsend, who will join us a little bit from the Live Alert Center. So we're at 5:30 and I kind of get back to the regular grind Monday morning.
Well, it's my Friday, so.
It's a different kind of Friday for you.
Yeah.
Doing this, it's an odd 3-hour stretch.
I know when I was coming in, I was like, okay, got to be prepared for the marathon of news.
And you are prepared. Caitlin has a bottle of like sports drink. She's keeping herself hydrated.
A little pre-workout here.
See, that's good. You're keeping yourself hydrated. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
Endurance,
yeah. It's a good time. So yeah, so Kim's off today. Bob is literally seated right there. Well, now it looks like I'm pointing to Patrick.
Oh, well, you know, Bob's over here.
Well, hey, Patrick.
I'm over here. I'm in for Gannon this morning.
Patrick in for Gannon this morning.
So,
oh, wait, there he comes.
There you go.
There's Bob. So let's talk a little weather. You know,
do it.
It's not horrible. It could be worse.
It could, yeah.
It could be worse for December 8th. It's the 8th, right?
Yes.
I had to remember that. Okay.
And yesterday was the first day that I have literally felt like, all right, well, now it's December, because it was that gray, it was blustery, it was, I don't want to say raw, but it just had that feel.
I think today will be very similar to what we had yesterday morning. You know, yesterday afternoon we got the sunshine to kind of poke through, but today I think we're going to see more clouds than sun, most definitely, and also those cooler temperatures and the wind.
All right, Patrick, well, the 3 deadly fires that ignited in Carolina Beach this past weekend now have sparked an ongoing murder investigation.
Carolina in the Morning's Emily DeVoe is live right now in Carolina Beach with the latest details on what we can expect today from that investigation. Emily? Other news later today, leaders in Wilmington will hold a public input meeting about the waterfront improvement plan currently being developed by the city. Now, this plan will update and augment the city's Vision 2020 plan and other existing plans in the area between the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge and the Isabel Holmes Bridge. Now, that's from Front Street to Riverfront, and you can attend tonight's meeting. It all starts at 5:30 at City Hall. Now, this isn't something you hear about very often, but a chlorine gas leak intentionally set, causing the evacuation of a hotel in Chicago. 19 people being sent to the hospital from there. Now, they were complaining of dizziness, and happening at this time was the annual Midwest Fur Fest convention, and hundreds of guests were there dressed as animal characters you see in this video, holding dances and parties in several sections of the hotel. Police, though, have not said who was behind that intentional leak.
Well, there are new developments now in the case of 43 missing college students in Mexico. Investigators now identifying the remains of one of those students. But
as Rafael Romo tells us, families of the missing say their quest for justice is not over. And a typhoon hitting the Philippines Sunday, bringing high winds, flooding, rain, and leaving at least 3 dead in that area. Around 1 million people taken to evacuation centers despite fears that the storm could be as powerful as last year's Typhoon Haiyan, which left thousands dead. This storm, though, nowhere near as powerful as expected.
Monday morning, 6 a.m. Bob Bonner in for Bob Townsend. He will join us a little bit later in the show.
And Caitlin Stansel here for Kim Ratcliffe. Well, you know, it was a very busy weekend. Not only were we working with those fires in Carolina Beach, the weather very chilly as well. There's just so much going on.
Yeah, it was. I know a busy weekend newsroom-wise.
Phones are ringing off the hooks.
Yeah,
I mean,
watching, you know, and my wife was the first. She said, "Have you seen this fire that's happening in Carolina Beach?" And then it was fires in Carolina Beach. So yeah, and again, keep an eye on that situation. We'll have a live report coming up from Emily DeVoe in just a bit. But you mentioned the weather, cool today, cool yesterday.
December weather.
Yeah, it's finally December.
It's finally December. You know, we had those temperatures like in the 60s. Well, I think that's going by the wayside for at least a little bit of time here. Because the next 7 days we're going to stay in the 50s. We may try to hit 60 maybe at the end of the forecast period, but in the general terms, short term here, it's going to be a little bit on the chilly side. And on top of that, the winds not really helping the factor any much more this morning. Temperatures out the door in the upper 30s and lower 40s. We are going to make some strides for some areas, but even with
in Carolina Beach, 3 of those, all within hours of each other now, have claimed the lives of at least 2 people.
And at Carolina in the Morning's Emily DeVoe live at the scene in Carolina Beach right now with the latest details on what is now being called a murder investigation. Emily? Crews also battling another fire on Valor Drive.
Away from the house! Is everybody out of the house?
Now, that video you were looking at right there, footage sent to us from a viewer. What they are saying is that the roof of that house completely burned off, and there is severe damage to another section of that home, being considered a total loss this morning, but fortunately no one was injured. The residents were at the holiday parade during that blaze. The fire being ruled accidental, caused by Christmas lights. Some minor damage caused to the house right next door, because of some high winds happening last night.
And yet, so the weather, we have been mentioning that yesterday just kind of raw and cool, and if you're waking up this morning getting your kids off to school or you're getting yourself off to work, you're probably going to want to have at least a thin jacket. You're going to want something to cover up with.
I'm super cold-natured, so I'd probably grab the scarf, the hat, the gloves, all of it.
Yeah, I'm usually the guy that runs around in shorts and a sweatshirt, but even this morning.
Oh, you're that person?
Yeah, I'm that guy. This morning I was like, you know what, I think I need the fleece, because there's a bit of a chill in the air, Pat.
Time now to take a look at what is trending. A video found by our editor Brandon this morning.
Yeah, usually this is the time that we always joke that, you know, the guys in the weather department or the gals with Lauren, their fingers on the pulse of the internet. If it's going on,
we just sit over here and we just stay on the internet all day.
You could.
I mean, I get all my computer models and all that stuff off the internet. So I mean,
don't let him fool you though. It's not all business. I've snuck up on him before, and he's been Facebook chatting over there.
Sitting over here on Facebook chat, keeping up with people.
Sure.
That's what Facebook's all
about. Social media.
All right. So what we have here is, like Caitlin said, this is a editor Brandon find here, and this was a awesome video. This is actually, we all have that one jam that we can get down to in the car. Well, this one dog, whose name is Oakley, said, hey, I like this dog. This is an Australian Shepherd. His name is Oakley, and is actually becoming a therapy dog. And the first part of this, they're starting off and they're driving down the road and they hear the boom clap, and just not interested. Oakley's just not interested, and all of a sudden, as soon as Let It Go comes on, Oakley comes to life, perks up, ready to go. So I think Let It Go is definitely Oakley's jam, and even he serenades us with his howls at the song.
This is probably what I sound like when I try to sing this song.
I was hoping he timed it out to where when they do the Let It Go that he would let it go.
Yeah,
Let it go.
that would be so cute.
I was hoping for that too, but I mean it was pretty close.
It's good.
And you know, I when I sent this out this morning, I said, you know, when is this song just gonna?
Let
Everybody
it go.
loves this song. And you hear the other song come on, and Oakley's like, I'm done. I'm done. It's like it's not my jam.
Look at his ears.
Let's keep
He
playing
just
this
perks
song.
up, just ready to go for the day. It's like Elsa's singing to me right now. Good to go.
It's like, okay, getting ready, warming up the vocal cords here. Me. And that's what he's doing.
and like just the face of the dog, like he's so cute. It's just like
Fantastic looking dog.
Yeah. Bob, I know your girls love
yeah.
Frozen. How over this song are you?
I'm well past over this song.
And what's funny, and like I heard the other day, a friend of mine was on an airplane and they played the movie on the plane, and everybody broke out and sung the song when it came on the plane. On the plane,
nightmare.
folks. All right.
Like the very first beat of that song, if my kids are going, oh, Daddy, turn it up.
Oh gosh. They hear like one piano note and they know
do.
immediately.
They know
It's like name that
immediately.
song. I mean, it's any of the songs in that soundtrack, which some of them aren't bad, but that one just.
Bob has a secret jam on there.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little weather.
And several die-ins were put on in Charlotte this weekend to support Michael Brown and Eric Garner. Now, this video that we are playing right now from Romare Bearden Park, attendees said they came out to support the families of those two men, and you can see demonstrators there lying on the ground as part of the protest. A woman says they did that for about 15 and a half minutes, 1 minute for each of the 11 times Garner said, "I cannot breathe," before his death, and 1 minute for each of the 4.5 hours Brown's body lay in the streets after his death.
Hopefully this is the first of many in Charlotte. I think we need to come together as a community, regardless of race, creed, gender, color, religion. We just need to come together and finally right the wrongs that have plagued our society for so long.
Now, Charlotte Mayor Dan Clodfelter says the city is working to improve the interaction of police and the community. This weekend, he expressed his thoughts on the protests sweeping the nation.
Folks are legitimately concerned about the relationships between police and the community, and those are things that we have to pay attention to. We can't, again, take those for granted. We have to tend them.
The mayor also says the city council will consider new policies at tonight's meeting. The police department and community relations commission have been working on ways to improve confidence in those police procedures.
Good Monday morning. Bob Bonner in for Bob Townsend this morning.
And Caitlin Stansel here in for Kim Ratcliffe. Good morning so far.
So far, so good. Yeah, we were just kind of talking about coming in this morning how we should have carpooled because, I mean, it was a chilly way to start. The garage door came up. I always say it's like my barometer. As the garage door comes up, the first air that comes under, it's either like humid or I get some water splashed on the shoes. But this morning, I kind of figured, well, when I came in last night, it was already cold and it was windy last night.
Very windy, very windy.
Yeah. So this morning, kind of same deal, Patrick.
Yeah, starting off with the winds still across the area. It's not horrible, but we are watching the clouds on the increase this morning across southeastern North Carolina. But the winds, that's what's really making it kind of a raw feel out there this morning across the region. Clouds on the increase this morning across southeastern North Carolina. You do see that.
Town leaders are trying to pick up the pieces from 3 deadly fires in Carolina Beach that have sparked a murder investigation.
Yeah, our Emily DeVoe live on scene this morning of those fires. She's joined with the mayor of Carolina Beach, Dan Wilcox. Emily, good morning to you.
Good morning, Bob, Caitlin.
So it's 6:37 now. Won't be long before we'll be tracking Santa and the trip to your house and my house and all points in between. So, I mean, if Santa's on the sleigh doing a practice run, Patrick, right now, that sleigh would be a rocking because it's a bit windy up in those higher elevations right now.
Yeah, I do agree with.
Obviously tell, I mean, Christmas, it's coming.
It's like teetering on the edge of Christmas right now. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah. So you know the holiday cartoons, the parades, everything has been on TV. Obviously we have a bit of a generation gap between you and I, but there are those Christmas cartoons in common. Any ones that you remember growing up with? What was kind of must-see TV with you and your family?
Cartoons, Charlie Brown Christmas, and as far as movies, like A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Like that's the big one.
Yeah.
Every year.
I think you're missing an important one.
Okay.
The Grinch.
The Grinch.
The
Sure.
cartoon and the movie. Both great.
You like the movie with Jim
Yeah,
Carrey?
I did.
Is that the Jim
Okay.
Carrey one?
It wasn't horrible. It could have been better.
So one of the icons of the Charlie Brown Christmas, obviously the Christmas tree everyone makes fun of. Well, there's a tree in Pennsylvania that's apparently not too nice. But
It's a borderline
Yeah,
Charlie Brown Christmas
yeah.
kind of tree, and they actually are decorating it to look very similar to that. But it's been given some new life, channeling from that other famous skimpy Christmas tree. Here's the story.
I think we've all been to the lots and you see that one tree and you think, why not? Why not take it home?
Should we go the Charlie Brown route, or
Yeah.
should we go full on
Yeah.
beautiful tree?
There you go. You can set one up in the Weather Center. Yeah, maybe we'll go out and rescue a tree this year and we'll let Patrick adorn it with your various ornaments. Thumbs up from Patrick. Maybe we can give you a thumbs up traffic-wise. Let's give you a live look.
Morning.
Demonstrators vandalizing property, clashing with police for a second straight night in Berkeley, California. One of a number of cities where protesters have taken to the streets. This after the grand jury decisions in Ferguson, Missouri, plus in New York on those death investigations there of black individuals being killed by white police officers.
And most of those demonstrations have been peaceful, but choked off traffic in cities from coast to coast to send a message, as you just said, about police force and justice. Brian Moore has the story from Washington.
Carolina in the Morning.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us on Caroline in the Morning on Fox Wilmington. I'm Caitlin Stansel, filling in for Kim Ratcliffe.
And I'm Bob Bonner, in for myself on a Monday morning. It's feeling good so far? You get 2 hours down.
Yeah, I
1 hour to
feel
go.
warmed up now at least.
Yeah, and again, it's that marathon of the morning. You just kind of
Truck
chug
through,
along.
see where you get to.
get loosen up a little bit, get into home stretch.
And we were saying Fox Show stands for Fun Show.
There you go. Fox is fun.
Even on a Monday.
It's good on a Monday. Get you that start going into the week.
Yeah.
That everybody needs.
I think if you don't just walk outside and just like, like Elizabeth.
Well,
We're talking about Sanford and Son.
Good Fred Sanford. That was a good one. Yeah, my kids last night were, Daddy's going to be warm tomorrow. Can we wear T-shirts to school? No, you can't wear T-shirts to school.
Yeah, long sleeves probably the better bet today. Heading out the door.
Investigation continues now into 3 fires in Carolina Beach that left 2 people dead and several displaced from the homes. Those fires taking place on Saturday.
And WCT's Emily DeVoe is live in Carolina Beach this morning with the very latest on this investigation. Now, if you're looking to help out any of those victims in any way, the Pleasure Island Fire Relief Fund has been created to take donations for those affected by these fires. Now, checks can be made to that address right there on your screen, Pleasure Island Fire Relief Fund, and can be mailed to P.O. Box 1876, Carolina Beach 28428. The fund being organized by the Pleasure Island Revitalization Association. More details on how you can help can be found on our website, foxwilmington.com.
And we have new details this morning on a fire that took place in Wilmington.
11 minutes past the hour here. Time now to take a look at what's trending online with Ryan P.C. Trimble. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. This is kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. That's fun.
It's fun. I loved you doing that intro because, fun fact, back in the day, you
I
used
was
to do
doing
what's
what's trending, yes.
And for a little while, I wrote them for you, and you would say the words. And
It
it was
looks like they could go to prom together.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Totally didn't plan that.
They called each other this morning, 3 o'clock in the
We
morning.
didn't
Hey,
send you guys the memo.
obviously not.
Well, I told Bob Bonner, this is not important at all, but I told Bob Bonner I have that exact shirt and tie, and like every day that he wears it, I have almost worn it. One day we're going to match up.
One day we will do the trending segment and we'll go to prom together.
We can do that now.
Yeah,
It's
we can do that.
2014. Yeah.
It's
It's a new world, you guys. And I'm going to talk about the North right now. I'm going to talk about New York City.
what?
The North.
The North?
The North. You're already making fun of me,
There's
Bob.
such a place that exists.
Yes, I know. There's other places. Tons of people visit New York City. You might have heard of it every year. And over the weekend, a British couple flew in to see the city. And what were their names again? Oh, that's right. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Now, you might know them
those
better.
People.
As, what'd you say?
I said, those
Those guys.
people.
Yeah, William and Kate, first name basis. It is our first trip to the Big Apple. Now, Prince William will meet with President Obama in Washington, D.C. today, and he will attend a conference at the World Bank. And now Kate is going to stay in the city as she's going to tour a center for child development, and she'll lunch with members of the British community. The two will then later go to a Nets Cavalier game, which will be fun. William and Kate will also attend a conservation reception in New York City, which sounds less fun. But Hillary Clinton will be there, and Chelsea Clinton will be there, and that'll be great. The one cool thing I found out is they're staying at the Carlisle Hotel on the Upper East Side, which is actually one of the favorite hotels of Princess Diana, and his mom used to stay there a lot when she came to the city in the 90s. Yeah, so that was kind of cute. So this was trending online, and I don't have a lot to say about them except that they're there, I guess.
Well, it's like
it is big
they
news.
did it.
Like I'm pretty sure CNN had a breaking news banner whenever they showed up, so it's big news.
That's big news.
But honestly, it doesn't matter what they do. It could be Prince William eats a banana for
Yeah,
breakfast.
yeah.
It's like breaking news.
Yeah, Ryan and I are simpatico on that because I don't get it.
No.
But
I'm not a typical girl because I don't get it either.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you.
I'm just sitting here like I do weather.
Welcome to the States, though, New York City.
Yeah.
Congrats, guys, you did it.
well, I was surprised. I told Bob Townsend I was really shocked that neither of them,
Hadn't been over here
especially he, has not been to New York City yet.
Yeah. That is
You would
interesting.
think with as traveled as they are,
Yeah.
with access to what they have, that they've never been to a city like
him
that.
owning the world and all.
Yeah. And you would just think when you come to the States that you would have gone to the biggest city we have to offer. But
They're doing it now, so
Yeah.
good job. All right, so next thing, we're going to talk about something horrible. It's going to be great. So basically, I fear three things in this world: bankruptcy, loss of my cat Roger, and snakes. So when I heard about our next story, I wanted to cry because it sounds horrible, and we're going to talk about it. It's called Eaten Alive. Have you guys heard about this? And it's pretty much that. Paul Rozzoli is a conservationist, in quotes, who decided to get eaten by a snake, I guess. And he was last night, kind of. It was on the Discovery Channel, and they had a camera attached to him, and then, of course, on the cruise, you could see his view of what it was like when the snake started to swallow him. But as you'll see in a little while, he kind of chickened out. Didn't get too far. He called in his backup team when he said his arm started to break. And Twitter just blew up about this because it was one of the biggest disappointments. You know, one guy on Twitter, this is so funny to me, he said, calling it Eaten Alive is like having a show on the Food Network about cooking a turkey and all they do is preheat the oven. Because that's basically what happened.
It was 2 hours of build up for that.
For him to kind of get a snake hug and then him to be like, nope, I'm done, I'm out, you guys. This is a view inside the snake's mouth, which is just great. But I couldn't watch a lot of this video because it was just too much. But I've been hearing about this for a while, and he's been planning this, and he finally did it. And didn't go through with it.
A lot of people were very disappointed. I was actually, because whenever I was going to do my trending topic, I was looking at this because I was like, this was a big deal, and Facebook and Twitter had exploded
Blowing
about
up
it.
with it,
And they were like, well, he didn't really get eaten.
Yeah.
Because everybody was thinking he's going to be fully inside of this snake, but no.
I think what people.
I don't think that
maybe
you would
didn't-
need to watch that though.
No, yeah.
I watched it because of that.
But also, in the planning process, I don't know if maybe he didn't mention that. Okay, this is a constrictor. So
that was
it's not
the first thing I thought.
So it's not you're just seeing the snake's mouth go over his body.
Yeah.
First it squeezes you until you can't breathe, and that's the first process, and that takes 30 minutes or
It was definitely. It was the build up to that. I watched a little bit of it. I watched I think the first hour of it, but it was you're getting a science lesson of where these things live and blah 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 blah. Very Discovery Channel. I thought that that's where they kind of went back to what they are supposed to do.
Yeah.
But the thing is that everybody wanted to watch it for the shock value.
Yeah, and it's funny. At no
I'm not gonna lie, I did want to watch it for the shock
Of course,
value.
you could. But really, at no point did no one mention there's the part where before they eat you, they crush you to death.
Yeah.
Did no one bring that up? I don't know.
The snake is called boa constrictor. It's not boa eat you alive snake.
No.
One, there would obviously have been a certain conclusion that would happen at the end if you went all the way through with it. So we never saw reports that he plans to die.
Planned to die. Okay.
But he did it, and he wimped out. But it's okay
And it's
because
TV.
his arm didn't break.
Well,
and people watched, and they got money for it. That's what's important.
Exactly. That's capitalism right there.
Exactly, and I love it. Now you have an animal story that's a little bit
I have a happy animal.
Cuter.
I have a cuter animal story. This is actually an editor, Brandon Fine, that came in a couple weeks ago, like last week, I think. And this is very interesting. I thought this was the cutest thing. We all have that one jam that when it comes on the radio, you pretty much just stop in your tracks and start singing. Well, this video is of an Australian shepherd named Oakley who has his own jam. And it just happens to be Let It Go from the smash hit Frozen. And yes, he does do a little bit of singing. The first song on the radio is Boom Clap, and I think we edited that out. But
not into that song.
But he was not into that song at all whatsoever. But as Let It Go came on, his ears perked up and he was ready to go, and he serenades us with his little howls. And
it's funny, Bob Bonner does the same thing when he hears Let It Go.
I do.
Yeah, just like that. He makes that face.
He's restraining the howls right now.
Every time it plays on the radio, I do cry a little bit.
I sit when I sent this out this morning. I said, when is this song just going to just be done?
Let it go.
Just let it go, folks.
Guys, it's been out for a year. Like, it's a year this month, and people are still like discovering the song for the first time.
Oh wait! This is the best part. Like coming up, because.
But wait, I think maybe we're interpreting this wrong as well. Like, what if he doesn't like the song? What if he's actually
he's
like,
like,
turn it off?
and then they turn the song off. And they go back to Boom Clap, and he's like, I don't care. I'm done. He's yawning. He's like, I'm done.
I'm over it.
I'm over it. So, Oakley, and also a fun fact about Oakley, he's becoming a therapy dog.
Oh.
So I was like, that's just perfect. That's awesome. But
little ears.
I had a friend on Facebook yesterday say that he was on a plane. They were watching Frozen on the plane, and as soon as the song came on, everybody broke out on a plane.
I 100% believe that. Well, we're going to have a sing-along here in the studio, and then we'll be right back after this.
Well, DNA has helped police make an arrest in a 14-year-old rape case right here in our state. Maurice Barry Albert Sullivan has been charged with first-degree rape and one other charge. Now, police say the 40-year-old was arrested last year and charged with a felony for trying to disable devices that prevent shoplifting at a local grocery store. Well, now felons under state law are required to give a DNA sample, and they say that's what helped with the investigation, but they are still looking for another suspect in that case.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us for Carolina in the Morning on Fox. Wilmington, Bob Bonner alongside Boom, Caitlin Stansel, enjoying it so much you're going to hang out for the back
next
half.
half hour, yeah. I figured I don't get to do this very often, so might as well stick around.
You're setting a precedent that Kim Ratcliffe may not enjoy.
Oh.
Because typically 7:30, Splitsville, she's out.
Well, she does the cut-ins too, and Bob Townsend was helped me out.
Don't ease
Shout
it for
out
her.
to Townsend.
He's still out there.
He didn't hear me, though.
Usually we tease Kim on the show. Now you're making it sound like she's legit when she leaves here and does stuff.
Well,
I like to pretend that Kim goes out there and plays with her Barbie doll and
just gonna wash my hands
does some
of all
crayons.
Kim, I'm on your side. I'm on the Kim team.
I'm sure I'll get an email.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to do the weather.
You're a wise man, Patrick.
I'm just
Ellis.
going to
You are
do
a
the
wise
weather.
man. All right, bring it to us. Bust
All
it
right,
down.
let's take a look.
The 3 deadly fires that ignited in Carolina Beach this weekend have now sparked an ongoing murder investigation.
And Carolina in the Morning's Emily DeVoe live at the scene right now in Carolina Beach with the latest details on what we can expect from that investigation today. Good morning, Emily.
A little late on the Fox Wilmington studio bump shot. This is a staple of the Fox show. Ryan Trimble even seconding in my ear that yes, we are a little heavy.
A little late.
So he's probably thinking at this time, please stop talking. Please stop talking. So Ryan.
That's how you torture a producer.
Job well done. So that's your Fox studio bump shot on this Monday. An intentional leak of chlorine gas causing the evacuation of a Chicago area hotel, which was evacuated. 19 people sent to the hospital there. Those taken to the hospital complained of dizziness. The annual Midwest Fur Fest was taking place at that hotel. Hundreds of guests dressed as animal characters holding dances and parties in several sections of that hotel. Police have not yet said who is behind that intentional leak.
In responding to the lack of an indictment in the Eric Garner case, protesters nationwide took to the streets this weekend.
Yeah, Andrew Spencer taking a closer look at those protests, some of those turning destructive.